Hi friends, welcome to IT Articles. In this tutorial, we're gonna see the callbacks in JavaScript. Before I start, let me request you once again, in case if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe so that you can get my new videos notified as soon as I post them. JavaScript works in a single thread aspects, mean we have, let's say, two functions, get user from server, another display username. Then these two statements will be executed sequentially one by one, but it doesn't guarantee that first statement will be finished completely before starting the second statement or second function. So this may create a problem when second function is dependent on the first function output, because this function is still getting the user information from the server, or which is taking some time, and we have started displaying the username for this user, then this will not work as expected. So to tackle this problem, so generally we use the callback. Callback is nothing but when we pass one function as argument to the another function, and then this function is responsible to execute this function that we pass as an argument. So this do some operation here, and finally this function is responsible to call this display name function that we passed. Then this function that we pass to this get user from server function, this display username will be known as callback. So we can use callback in sync and async, both type of functions. Let me give you an example how we can use callback in sync functions. So we have a function called calculator. This calculator is responsible to get the two numbers, and this calculator as of now doing the sum of these two numbers. So finally I'm returning x plus y. If someone asks me to extend the functionality of this calculator for subtraction also, how we'll be doing it? Either we'll be copying this function as a separate like sub, and here we'll be implementing sub, or we'll be implementing function here itself under the calculator. How? Let's see. Add which will be the x plus y, and someone will say subtract, that will be x minus y. In case again someone asks me to extend the functionality to the multiplication or division, we'll be changing this function again. So to reutilize this code, we are directly modifying this calculator, so better to inject this logic from outside to the calculator. So let's say we are passing some operation to the calculator here, operations, and here I am performing this operations on x comma y. So this operation is a function that we passed, and here we are executing this function and we are passing both the numbers x and y. Now this operation is a function which will be known as callback. Let's see how we can implement that. So let's say we have an add functionality which is taking a comma b two methods and returning the a plus b. If someone asks me to extend the functionality to the subtraction also, I'll be doing like this. And in case someone asks me to extend the functionality to the multiplication, create one function and I'll be passing this function as a callback to the calculator. So in case someone asks me to get the calculator to work as a additions, I'll pass addition. If someone asks me to as a subtraction, it will work as a subtraction, and in case someone asks me as a multiplication, I'll pass multiplication. So now this will call this function and I pass the addition as a operation or as a callback. Now this statement will get one number, this statement will get second number, and here it will perform, or it will execute the function that we pass as callback by passing both the numbers. So here addition, subtraction, multiplication is working as a callback to the calculator function. If someone asks me what's the use of callback in async and how we can use that, let's see. To demonstrate that, we'll be considering that we have one function. Let's name is get user from server. Okay, this function actually taking some time. So I create a one variable user which do not have any value here, empty object, or do not assign any value here. Then it's taking some time to populate the user because we are getting the user from server. So let's say I'm using set timeout to put some delay, and let's see how it works. So after I want to execute this after 1 second, and after 1 second I'll assign the user as user has name IT articles. Okay, now we have another function that display name. It takes user as argument, and on console it display user.name. If here I call the function get from server, I expect if this return the user, and in the next statement if I display the name of the user and I'll call this display name function, pass the user here. If now I'm expecting that it will display the username correctly, that is not right. The reason is, let's see. So on console I'm running this file using node. If you see, scroll up a little bit, and if you see here, it says when it comes to the console log username, it says name of undefined, means when it is trying to display the name property of the user, it says user is already undefined, because when this statement was executing, the user, because we are not returning, let's return also, although this will not make any impact, but let's say we are getting the username here, we are populating and we are returning. So let's run it again just to show that we still have the same. So still you can see it says name of undefined. The reason is this statement is still executing because this will populate the user after 1 second, and this function start executing, which is trying to display the name of the user, which is undefined yet. To solve this problem, what generally we do is we pass this function display name as an argument to this function get user from server. Then under the set timeout, or after the value is fetched from the server, then here itself we'll call display name function. Let's modify the way that I'm saying. So if we want to display the username, we'll not be receiving the username as of here, and we'll pass the display name as an argument to this function, which will come here. So we'll call it, let's say, callback function. And here once we got the username, I will be executing this callback function by passing the username. So that's all. Now let's clear the console and try to execute this script again. You see it's waited for 1 second, then it displayed the correct name. Here now display name is a pure function which we passed as an argument to get user from server, and it is treated as a callback. So this is how we can use in asynchronous function also. Now by definition, callback is a function which we pass as an argument to another function. In next video we'll be seeing the promises in JavaScript. That's all in this video. Thank you.